People remember how your music made them feel. Most listeners aren't listening for precision, they're listening for honesty. They don't remember every note, but they remember how the song made them feel in their body. Emotion travels way faster than accuracy. When you allow yourself to feel something while you play, imperfections stop being flaws and they start being fingerprints. And that's what makes music human. Play one piece today with your full attention on feeling. Don't fix anything unless it actually breaks the emotion. Rest isn't avoidance, it's maintenance. Burnout doesn't make better art. Pushing through exhaustion usually leads to resentment, not breakthroughs. Stepping away doesn't mean that you're losing momentum. It means you're protecting it. Creativity needs space to recover, just like anything else. So take a real break today without feeling the guilt, and trust that your ideas will still be there when you return. Focused practice beats long practice. Hours mean very little without intention. Mindless repetition keeps you busy, but not better. Real improvement comes from identifying weaknesses and working on them deliberately. 10 focused minutes can change more than 2 distracted hours. So pick one specific problem in your playing or writing and work on that today. Comparison blurs your own voice. The more time you spend comparing yourself to other musicians, the harder it becomes to hear what you actually sound like. Comparison shifts your focus outward, when the real work requires listening inward. You start chasing someone else's pace, someone else's results, and someone else's definition of success. But you're only seeing fragments of that journey, not the full picture. Your music doesn't need to keep up. It just needs to be honest. And clarity comes when you stop measuring yourself against others. Start paying attention to your own growth. Measure progress only against who you were maybe a month ago. That's all you need. Routine protects creativity. Creativity doesn't thrive in chaos, it thrives in structure. A simple routine removes decision fatigue and it creates a safe space for ideas to show up. You don't need endless freedom. You need a container. Show up at the same time in the same way and let creativity meet you there. Choose one consistent time or ritual for music and commit to it this week. Simple doesn't mean shallow. There's a quiet strength in simplicity. Some of the most lasting music in the world is built on very little. Just a few chords or a few notes, a clear melody, an honest idea. Simplicity creates space. It lets emotion breathe. Complexity can impress, but clarity connects. When you remove what isn't essential, what remains often carries more weight to it. Simplicity isn't about doing less work, it means about making clearer choices. So take one piece that you're working on and remove something from that. See if the song gets closer to what you're actually trying to say. Discomfort is the cost of growth. If creating feels uncomfortable right now, then you're probably doing something right. Growth rarely feels smooth. It challenges your habits, your identity, your confidence. Comfort keeps you where you are. Discomfort moves you forward. Every level requires a little more courage. Do one thing today that stretches you musically, even if it scares you a little. Showing up matters more than sounding good. There will be days you don't like how you play, days when your hands feel clumsy and your ideas feel thin, and everything sounds better in your head than in reality. Well, those days are not the problem. They're part of the deal. Showing up anyway trains something deeper than technique. It builds trust with yourself. And it says, I don't only create when it's easy, Over time, that trust becomes confidence. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that lasts. Show up today without expecting a good session. Just finish it. That will be enough. Unfinished doesn't mean unworthy. Not everything you create needs to be perfect or even released. Unfinished work still has value. It's proof that you're in motion. Many great ideas start messy and unclear. That doesn't make them bad, it makes them alive. Progress is built from imperfect drafts, not perfect plans. Return to an unfinished idea today and move it forward just one step. And if it doesn't work out, put it in the I tried pile and move on. Ira Glass talks about something every creative person experiences. The gap. It's the space between your taste and your ability. You know what good music sounds like, but you can't quite make it yourself yet. And that gap is painful, but it's also necessary. It exists because your taste has already developed, and most people quit here. Not because they lack talent, but because the gap feels personal. It isn't. It's just a phase. And the only way through it is volume of work. Make a lot of work, imperfectly, until your skills catch up to your taste. So keep making. The gap closes through repetition, not judgment. Mistakes aren't interruptions, they're information. Most musicians are taught to stop the moment that something goes wrong. But mistakes often point toward ideas that you wouldn't find on purpose. A wrong note can reveal tension. A missed rhythm can open a groove. When you immediately erase mistakes, you are also erasing possibility. Creativity doesn't live in control, it lives right beyond that. So next time you make a mistake, don't stop, follow it for a few seconds and see what it shows you. Imposter syndrome isn't a sign that you don't belong. Imposter syndrome usually shows up when you're growing. It's that feeling that you have fooled people into thinking that you are better than you actually are, and that eventually you will be exposed. But that feeling doesn't mean that you're an imposter, it means that your awareness has expanded faster than your confidence. Beginners rarely feel it. People who care, though, do. And the voice telling you you're not ready isn't proof you should stop. It's proof you're stepping into something that actually matters. Don't wait to feel legitimate. Keep doing the work, and that's how legitimacy is built. Progress isn't linear, and it never was. Some weeks you feel unstoppable, other weeks nothing clicks. That doesn't mean you're regressing. Growth in music happens in waves. Plateaus aren't failures, they're integration periods where things settle into your body and ears. The problem isn't the slowdown, the problem is quitting during it. Stay steady during flat periods, keep working quietly. Most breakthroughs arrive after frustration, not before it. Not everything you create needs to be shared. When every idea is made for an audience, you start editing too early. You play safer. You avoid risk. Some of the most important work happens when no one is watching. Private creation sharpens honesty. It keeps your relationship with music intact. So make something today with no intention of ever posting it or releasing it. Let it be just for you. Joy is a compass. When creating feels heavy for too long, something is off. Joy doesn't mean everything is easy, it means that you are aligned. Playfulness, curiosity, and excitement are signals that you are actually moving in the right direction. Protect them. Do something musical today purely for fun. No outcome, no pressure, just play. Your path doesn't need validation. There is no correct timeline, no universal formula. Your journey doesn't need permission or comparison. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving in the direction that feels honest to you. Trust your pace, keep going. That's enough. Inspiration isn't rare, it's overlooked. Inspiration doesn't only arrive when you sit down to create. It shows up in conversations, in routines, in boredom, frustrations, in silence. The problem isn't lack of ideas, it's lack of attention. So when you stop forcing inspiration, it becomes easier to notice. Pay closer attention today. Write down one small observation. Don't use it yet, just collect it. Longevity is the real success. Trends fail, algorithms change. But what lasts is commitment. Staying in the game long enough allows your skills, your confidence, and your clarity to catch up with your ambition. Most people quit right before things start working. So don't quit today. That alone puts you ahead of most people. 90% of success is showing up. Your story already belongs in your music. You don't need a dramatic backstory to have something worth saying. Your everyday experiences, your doubt, repetition, quiet hope, those are enough. When you allow your real life into your work, people feel it immediately. Authenticity doesn't come from intensity, it comes from honesty. So write one line today that's true, not clever, true. And let it exist without fixing it. Influence isn't the enemy, it's the path. You're never going to be Bruce Springsteen or Billy Idol, and that's not a failure, it's a fact. They already exist. In the beginning, you find your footing by imitating the artists who moved you. You borrow their phrases, their chords maybe, their attitude, and that's how you learn the language. And then over time, something happens. Your limitations get involved, and your personality gets involved. Your life shows up. And what comes out of that isn't them anymore, it's you. That's how a voice is formed. Not by avoiding influence, but by passing through it. So lean into your influences today. Your voice will emerge on its own. Every practice session is progress, even if it feels slow. There are days you finish practicing and feel like nothing changed, no breakthrough, no magic moment. That doesn't mean that the session failed. Progress in music often happens quietly, below your awareness. Your hands are learning patterns. Your ears are refining judgment. Your timing is settling. You don't feel growth in real time. You recognize it later, when something that used to be hard suddenly isn't. That only happens because you kept showing up. So don't evaluate today's session, just complete it. Consistency does the work you can't see yet. Not everything you create needs to be shared. When every idea is made for an audience, then you start editing too early. You play safer. You avoid risk. Some of the most important work happens when no one is watching. Private creation sharpens honesty. It keeps your relationship with music intact. So make something today with no intention of ever posting it or releasing it. Let it be just for you. Unfinished doesn't mean unworthy. Not everything you create needs to be perfect or even released. Unfinished work still has value. It's proof that you're in motion. Many great ideas start messy and unclear. That doesn't make them bad, it makes them alive. Progress is built from imperfect drafts and not perfect plans. Return to an unfinished idea today and move it just one step forward. And if it doesn't work, put it in the I tried pile and move on to the next thing. Your unique sound isn't the bonus, it's the actual point. You don't need to sound like anyone else to justify your place in music. Your influences, your limitations, your taste, your personality, all of that filters into something that only you can make. That's not something you arrive at later. It's already there, even if it feels undeveloped. Chasing someone else's sound only delays discovering your own. So, create something today without asking if it sounds impressive. Ask if it sounds like you right now. Resistance isn't personal, it's predictable. Steven Pressfield, in his book, The War of Art, calls it the resistance. It's that invisible force that shows up right before the work matters. It sounds reasonable, it tells you that you are tired, that you are unprepared, or that maybe tomorrow would be better, that you are too young to do something, that you're too old to do something, or that you're not healthy enough to do something. Resistance isn't proof that you are doing something wrong, it's proof that the work that you want to do really matters. It appears in front of the things that move you forward. The goal isn't to defeat it once and for all, it will always be there. But you have to recognize it, expect it, and work anyway. When resistance shows up today, and it will, don't argue with it. Just sit down and do the work.